Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is a team we've played so many times. I think it's like 10 times in this experience. I know it's Georgia, and Amor's a really good player. And Kenny runs a lot of good stuff. I'm really happy for our team. You know, as I said on the radio, if you give us 4 days for an opponent, watch out. We feel like we can really understand how we want to play. We forced them to plan B, and then we took away plan B. That was the game plan defensively. I mean, what do you say about Reniya Kelly, except the dog that she is and was? Plus 28 is her plus minus. Gosh, and then 1,000 points for Maria today, so a huge milestone for her. But we wore them down. I thought we defended them really well the whole game. I thought we had possessions where we were really good offensively, and then we got stagnant. And then we were able to adjust back to being really good offensively. We executed the new ads that we added to this opponent in timely times, which again I give a lot of credit to Reniya, making sure that we're ready to do those things. Great win, top 15 win at home. 5 o'clock, kind of a weird tip, but we found a way.
So you held the season lows for points and
Yeah.
season low for field goal percentage.
Mm-hmm.
What was the specific strategy? And I know you tried to put Lexi and Reniya on Georgia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, well, they scored 53. We like to hold teams below 40, but I think part of it is that we wanted to make sure. So Georgia, you know, she's made, I don't know now, before tonight she had made 58. She had 58 assists, and she had taken a total of 103 shots. So she's a kid that wants to facilitate, right? And so we wanted to handle the ball screen 2-on-2 well, and so we didn't need to incorporate all 5. So we changed a little bit of our ball screen coverage for her, and that went really well. We stayed glued to their best shooter. If you take away Deja Lawrence from their team from 3, which we lost her a few times, they actually shoot below 24% from 3, so we wanted to kind of play the numbers there, and that's kind of how it played out. And then on offense, we wanted their tall, I kept saying, I'm sure you're tired of hearing me say it, make their tall people move. And the possessions we did that, we liked to do that.
Courtney, Kentucky came in with the best field goal percentage defense in the country. They're holding teams under 30%. You guys start out 6 of 8, shoot over 50% in the first quarter. What was the key to the offense really playing well?
Well, I think I think we had to make their tall people move. I think you have to. I told them it might take you a minute to get used to their size. I think it took other teams longer to get used to it, and so it forced you to go to the rim, get into their chest, and kind of force something. We really prioritized if they get in the chest in front of the ball, then it's for somebody else. But they moved it well. We went to more of our zoom actions, so more stuff off the dribble, which is harder for them to chest up on. You know, really did a combination of cutting and executing, and these guys really executed the plan really well.
We knew this team would be a little bit different this year, Courtney.
Mm-hmm.
Was this kind of performance all around kind of what you imagined, like it could be when it all comes together on both sides?
Yeah, you know, it's fun I told them, I think I said it here, but I've said it before too to them, is that it's fun to think about how good you can be, right? But you don't get there by thinking about it, you get there by doing it. And this group really likes one another. You know, that's what Kenny said to me before the game. You know, I said, yeah, they do. They really like one another. And this team sort of fits my personality, right? They're tough and they're joyful. And then they know when it's time to lock in. We practiced okay Monday, and they practiced well Tuesday and Wednesday. You know, there's a sense of purpose amongst this group that I have great respect for, but they also keep the joyfulness of what this is supposed to be. And so, you know, it's been a long time since I played Kenny where I had the 3-point shooting team, right? It's like I said, finally I get to have a team where they shoot 2s and we can shoot 3s. We just didn't need to make as many of them tonight because we were getting some paint shots.
And Kenny got you the last 5 times. Nice to get one on him.
Yeah, you know, you don't do this business very long if you make it about the coaches. You know, what I'm really happy for is Alyssa and this particular team, how they played and who they are, right? And who they have. This is I think the 5th game in a row where we've gotten better every game, right? So this team is on their own journey, and I'm really happy for this team that they had a top 15 team come in the ACC Challenge. You know, we did it for our league, and we were able to make a very convincing win. It was never really that close, which is good.
Maria, you had double-double the other day, near double-double today. You obviously missed the stretch of games in the Bahamas. Can you kind of detail the process of getting back, you know, to even, you know, being back on the court and just kind of what the last couple of games have been like for you?
Yeah, definitely being on the sideline was really different for me, obviously in the Bahamas, but I got to like take a step back and kind of think about how I want to come back and approach how I play. So when I came back, I knew that I wanted to come with a different mentality, bring more energy, be there for my teammates, be somebody that makes a difference when I step on the floor.
it seemed like obviously the shot attempts have kind of gone up. I guess part of the different mentality you're talking about was, I guess, being more aggressive offensively. How much was that a part of that mindset?
Yeah, that's a big part of it. Being as efficient as I am, I think I do deserve to take more shots. So our guards getting the ball inside more has been really effective with that. Yeah.
Maria, you were matched up with Clara Strack, and she coming in, she was averaging 18 points a game, then you held her to 4 points and then only 4 rebounds for lowest all season.
Yeah.
I mean, what was the mindset of how to contain her, and what did you do so well tonight?
Yeah, I knew coming into like this week they had a good stretch of games, especially Clara Strack, but also they're a really big, long team, and each player is a little different, so knowing how to defend them and keeping them to a limited amount of points, but just staying true to our scout, trusting the scout from the week. So.
Reniya, you had 3 points in the first half, 15 in the second. This is a statement game for you. What clicked in the second half?
Honestly, just trusting everything that I worked on. I think, I train on those shots and I will keep taking them. You know what I mean? So, and also trusting my team as they would give me the ball and I would give them the ball in the right situation. So I think it was just trusting the process.
What was working well offensively, Reniya? I mean, you had the offense going pretty well.
Honestly, I would think sharing the ball. We shared the ball really well, and we got them to move, like she was saying. Their long players are moving, and we got to attack the gap a lot and get to the lane.
I think too, Reniya is such a distributor, right? She's the quintessential point guard, and I thought today she really found that the advantage because of how they were kind of squeezed to their own. Is she had the 1v1 matchup. I think she did a really good job getting outside hips. Now, how we've been played previously is people collapse on her penetration, and she's able to find people. So I think when they really challenged her to finish, she did that. And like she said, she works at it. Easy kid to root for. Spends a lot of time in the gym.
Courtney, you guys had a 16-2 advantage in bench points. Sierra and Trey come off the bench, had 8 each, and each played 20, more than 20 minutes. What can you say about sort of the burst they gave you in those minutes?
Yeah, multiple times throughout the game, we're telling them at timeouts, they can't keep up this pace, guys. We can't. Like, you just got to keep going, and the game is 40 minutes, right? And we don't want to, we don't want to make it 20. And our bench has given us a ton of opportunities to play fresher, longer, and to have more people to go to. And they all play a little different, which is what we wanted when we built this team, right? Trey plays the game differently than Grace, who plays it differently than Lainey, and there's different guys that are going to be needed at different times. And Sierra's continuing to get more comfortable. She's not quite there yet, but she's getting there, and gave us huge minutes.
42 to 10 points in the paint, too.
Yeah, if you had told me that before the game, I would have said, ooh, they're going to make you play one-on-one. I want you to get outside hips. Right? I told them I couldn't tell you exactly how they were going to defend you. Are they going to make you finish outside hips, or are they going to collapse? And once they earn the collapse, then you've got to go to the next best thing. We call it our next best action. And, these guys really trusted their length and their wall-ups, and our guys got to the outside hips because we forced them to move to the second and third side.
Was everybody in uniform available to play today?
I don't even know who's in uniform. Everyone's available, right?
Yes.
I think Sid's back. Yeah.
Yes.
Was it his coach's decision as far as who played?
I don't even know who played. Did everyone not play? I don't really care. I just want to win games.
Right.
Yep. I don't even know.
Reniya, obviously, there was one rotation where you were actually out on Claire Strack. What was it like defending someone almost talking about you?
She's huge.
Or you're small. There's two ways to say it.
Yeah, but I am a dog, and I knew she wasn't going to punish me, so I just stood my ground. Yeah, but she's actually really tall.
He's actually what?
Really tall.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Courtney, you touched on obviously playing in this ACC-SEC
Yeah.
challenge. Currently, the SEC has, I think it's 7 teams in the top 25. Just kind of how, obviously, the matchups kind of get fixed for you in a sense, but I guess how vital is it having, I guess, this part of, that non-conference considering, what the SEC has over there?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is there were some results that didn't go our way in the first 4 games as a league. And so then you get these rankings, and then once you get those rankings, they stick because you only beat each other up. I think Florida State and Georgia Tech are excellent, and it's just a bummer because if you have to win these, because once you start getting into cannibalization of your league, it's harder to make up that ground. So this was huge. Obviously, it's the one night a year I root for the ACC every game. But we hope we show kind of some of the muscle that we have in our league. But the game is just healthy. There's a lot of good teams. I'd love to say that we're great. It's a lot of good teams, right? And so that kind of drives this group. Like I said, their sense of purpose knows that Kentucky's going to require this, and then now we've got Coppin State, and that will require something. I don't know yet exactly what, but I will know, and they will know by the time we practice next.
How do you explain the way the game progressed? You got 1 free throw in the first 3 quarters, and then you get 12 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, don't get me fined, babe. I don't know. I don't know. I thought our guys played through that well, really well. there were times where I was confused, and they just didn't let it stick. I think they're focused on the right things. They really are. And as soon as they try to go sideways, I think they are now internally making sure that doesn't happen. It's more, it's becoming more player-led on the court, which is great.
Feels like there were some games last year where if Lexi only took 4 shots and only scored 3 points, you guys wouldn't win, let alone beat a ranked team by 19.
Absolutely.
Does it feel like there's just less pressure on everyone because you have more scorers in this roster?
Absolutely. I mean, Lexi and India are great examples of the fact that the game has so many components, right? And if you watch Lexi or India and you say, God, Lexi really struggled, she's a plus 25. So when she was in, if I had played her longer, we would have won by 25. That's kind of what that stat means, right? And so she does so many things to contribute to winning. And so some nights we're going to need her to make open shots. Some nights she's going to be able to create for her teammates. She rebounded, I think it's her career high, at least here, in defensive rebounds. She took one from Maria for her double-double. But yeah, it's nice to have more options of people that can shoot. You know, she was really guarded tight last year, and now if you do that, you're going to open up somebody else.
Courtney, how convincing was this win for you tonight, and what more do you want to see from the team moving forward?
You know, I just want them to keep getting better. You know, I want them to individually, we'll have some work to do individually on kind of the whole roster at things that they can get better at. So we kind of find that balance between individual growth and team growth at this time of the year. Yeah, I mean, it's beating a top. These teams are so good, you know, and I know it's easy to talk about Georgia Amore from Kentucky. They run a lot of good action, and then once you guard that, then they get you, instead of a shuffle, they get you on a pin down. I mean, there's just so many different, and our guys just had to be totally alert. And so to beat a ranked team this well at home, that sits good. Sits real good.
I'm not sure what you're allowed to say about this, but WNBA, people were here tonight. Was that for Georgia? Was it for some people on your team? And even if it was for Georgia, did it motivate you guys to have them?
We don't tell them. We've had WNBA in our practices. Yeah, we've got, it's Maria, Alyssa, and Lexi are on a lot of people's radars, right? And we know that. They know that. So, you know, if they know they're not playing, then they'll come. When she wasn't playing, they came to practice just to get to know how she was around her teammates, and Maria in this case. You know, so yeah, the WNBA is watching a lot of good teams. You know, we're a great area because you can see so many teams. But the eyes are on our roster and their roster for sure. And I don't think that, I didn't even tell you.
I don't know.
You know when they're at practice because I tell you to be kind, but you don't know in their games.
So the second time, and it's going to happen again later this season, to any of you playing a teammate from last year, in this case Tiani, how odd is that?
Oh, will you take it first?
Yeah, I mean, we knew it was coming. So, I mean, I wish her the best that she would win the portal and everything. But I think it happens a lot. Like, I played my old teammates before. Like, it just happens a lot in college basketball now. Everybody's been in the transfer portal and goes to different schools. So I think it was fun.
Yeah, I think too, as a coach, you just want people to be where they want to be, right? And I think this team is lighter, not because of Tiani, right? It's just this particular team is made up in a way that works for this particular team, right? And so I want Tiani, I'll root for Tiani the rest of the season. I want her to be great. I want her to love being there. I want her to love living there. I want her to be proud of the degree, all the things, right? But, you know, we knew her game well, which helps, right? But these guys knew Clara Strack's game pretty well too, right? And so we kind of treat them all like they're just, we want them to leave sad.
Any other questions?
I don't know if I actually asked you the 1,000 points that she
Yeah.
mentioned. Just your thoughts on reaching that milestone.
Shout out to my teammates for giving me the ball. You know, it's a big milestone. So I'm obviously really proud of myself, and then the way I played tonight, really proud of that and my team. So just gonna keep going.
I think the two things, Maria, I'm proud of you for is that you missed all that time and you found a way to stay in shape with our sport performance team. So while her teammates are out there playing in the Bahamas, she's in the weight room and in the pool with our strength and our sport performance team kind of around the clock to make sure her conditioning allows her to stay. And that's lonely and annoying, and so she's at our practices, at our film, at our stuff, and then she has to go on her own. They're at the water slides and she's doing training to stay in shape, right? And so you deserve this, right? Because that was lonely and it paid off.
Okay, great.
Thanks, guys. Go Heels.
Thank you.